with the lovely Alex from Kingswood at KickAss Festival 2023.
Yet to be determined.
True, you haven't answered my questions yet. We'll see. We'll say lovely for now. So I've been a huge fan of you guys for a long time.
Amazing, thank you.
Wars days, I just fucking love you guys.
Oh, amazing. Thanks, Kyra.
I've watched you transition and go through all these different phases, and I'm just curious, like, what's the conversation around it? Like,
to be honest, it's so weird that you would think that there would be like a distinct conversation and then that there's like a strategy behind it. We go, okay, well, we did this, so we should do this. Honestly, Ferg and I love so much music, and we always have done, and we've been musical around each other since, 12 years old. We went to primary school together. We were in a band together when we were 12.
That's awesome.
And because there's so many different influences, and I had like a lot of formal musical education, and Ferg had musical education as well, but I took it through. I was like studying classical piano, and I did a degree in piano, so the things that I love is quite different. Like the range is like quite extreme. And same with Ferg, like he's a musical person. Family's really musical, always different stuff. So these things happen where we eventually just go, this is inspiring at the moment. What do you think it is? We'll be like, check this out, whatever. And there's so much history that has made us who we are musically that it's at some point, like once you've exhausted something, you feel like accomplished in it. Our thing is like, oh, I really want to lean on this thing. And there are like little elements like, microscopic laws. For example, like you take Ohio and then you go to After Hours and you take Big City. And then you listen to Home, you're like, oh, it makes sense. But if you don't know who we are and you go from Microscopic Laws to Home and you don't have that insight, you just go like, what the fuck is this band? Like, are they a country band? Like, we've got a bluegrass record coming out in November. With like some serious players on it too from America, like really high-end bluegrass guys and girls. And people that'll be like, what the hell is that? You know? And then the next one next year is like even more like commercially country. But I love Alan Jackson. Like I've got a fascination with Nashville studio players. Like there's a guy named Brett Mason who did all the Alan Jackson stuff in the 90s. He still plays. He plays for it. Like he's on so many records that we all know. But like even his guitar style of playing inspires like an era of country for me that it then inspires our next turn in the right. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even necessarily just the music. It could be a guitar player or like the way an engineer was approaching engineering. The sound of an era, like the 90s sound of recording is like when digitization started to become, a digital, that was Mark.
He's a cheeky bastard.
We met probably for the first time last month and just hit it off immediately.
He's a character.
But the night, like when digital recording production started to get refined and was getting better, and sample rates were improving and bit rates were improving and converters were improving, and the jump from analog to digital wasn't as obvious. And it got better, and it's just like there's an era of sound attached to that for me that inspires songwriting, because in the back of my memory somewhere I have an idea of songs that sound like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So these are the kinds of things that we'll just discuss like the interesting parts of what we're talking about. Figuring out, like how's that song like Itty Bitty or Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson? I'm like, check this out. There's like how silly the lyric is. It's kind of playful, whatever. And then we'll go, oh, it's like Brett Mason's playing guitar and all that stuff, man. Have you checked out him? Then we'll go to his record because he played guitar. I'm like, listen to the sound of this record. And everything just kind of leapfrogs the touches on together. And all of a sudden we start writing songs like that. And if it weren't natural, we wouldn't be able to sustain it for this long. You know what I mean? If we were just putting on like different hats, so to speak, for the sake of it, it'd be like people wouldn't get into our albums. They'd just be like, they're just like, what the fuck is this? But like people listen to our albums and go, yeah, it's a country-inspired album, but I get where it comes from, and also still is you guys. So.
But then you planned out the next couple, so got bluegrass. So actually planned out the next steps.
We've gotten to a point now where we want to be like 2 albums ahead always, and just constantly releasing.
Churning them out.
Just like what's having a break You know what I mean? Like this thing of like the album cycle, like, oh, let's wait 3 years. Man, you go away for 3 weeks, people forget about it.
They forget about it.
You know what I mean?
That much shit coming out.
Totally. He's like, what, 1 million songs added every day to Spotify or something?
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
gotta stay relevant.
just keep, and it's like, if you're a musician, make music.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a chef, you make food. You don't go, oh, I'm going to make a really good meal and wait a month. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yes.
Actually, I watched a YouTube video of you and Ferg doing Home
yeah,
and just sitting down and singing acoustically.
yeah.
Your harmonies, man. You just
Oh,
have
thank
fun.
you, Ferg.
Like,
Thank you.
I seen you guys years ago in Cairns and you just blew me away. Like, it's just beautiful.
Oh, that's so
I
sweet.
love sitting down and just stripping back and just having you on the guitar and having that natural state between you two.
That's how we write everything.
Yeah.
It's the only way we write. And oftentimes it's like, even becoming dependent on the guitar can be a crutch. Like sometimes, like if we have the idea of something and there's the makings of something that feels strong, it's like cool. We know what the harmony is. Put the guitar away and just sing it. Like if you can sing it to me and it's memorable and I'm moved, it's like every layer we add to that is going to be supportive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, it's so easy to sit down and be like, oh, this guitar part's cool.
Yeah.
But then what about the words and how you're connecting emotionally? Like, there are a million cool guitar parts. Like, you go out there and listen to guitar all day, you'll hear a million guitar things that are awesome. Then without the context of, like, moving you emotionally, what's the point?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
And you
So-
two have it. It's beautiful. Like, yeah,
Thank you so much. That's really lovely for you to say. We put a lot of work into singing together. That's sort of developed, again, naturally over so much singing together. We've now found like a resonance where, I don't know, it's so unusual. Like there's a resonance between our voices that happens simultaneously that is it's just, speak of the devil. It's it's unique because it's something that has been developed over, I don't know, like 15 years or something.
Yeah. Do you ever strip yourself completely and just go without
Play naked.
Yeah,
I've never played naked.
straight up naked.
Just
but
strip
like,
myself down and put the guitar on.
Yeah.
Have an important thing. We did a lot of that stuff. That's kind of how the Reveries album came about, which is the stripped version of Juveniles. And we were just like, man, let's just take away that happened in COVID, and we're like, let's reflect what's going on in a weird way. It's like the first album was designed at like big shows, rock and roll shows, and lights and smoke and mirrors and the whole thing. And then COVID happened. It was like everything became insular and like and quite what's the right word? Intimate. And we were like, okay, there's an intimacy that's apparent that makes more sense for these songs if we would put them out for people who are isolated. Let's have that be reflected on new takes of these songs. And then we loved it so much we ended up performing that way, stripped. At the corner we did all these like as matinee and then a night show and a matinee night show. We did 5 at the corner because it was like you could only have like 60 people. And that maybe that informed like, and that was when I was like starting to pull like some of the bluegrass licks that I attempt. I wouldn't ever call myself a bluegrass pickup. Like, you know, when you compare against the guys who were like the Kingswood. So that would have been for sure like a natural thing of like COVID happened, so we stripped the album, but then we add all these bluegrass elements because it makes sense because of the intimacy in the music. Then we go, oh yeah, but I love that music. Let's start writing that music now. Bluegrass records out, you know, like there was no discussing. It was just like we just react and live and we'll tie it back in.
You got but did you ever sort of think about maybe down that path? Like it's worked now, obviously, but was there ever that period where you thought maybe that's too much?
I can tell you this much about respecting your fans. And this is going to sound heinous, but if you are making it for them, they're not going to follow you. Would you want to hear a song that I was like, Kyra, I wrote you this song, and then you're like, oh, that's really sweet, and then I'm like, oh, and I also wrote this song for you. I also wrote this song for you, and I wrote you a whole. You'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this person?" I've written 12 songs, and then I was like, "You know what else? The next one coming up, I wrote them all for you as well, over and over." We just put that on loop, and you'd be like, "These guys are mental."
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's good perspective.
Yeah, no, we it's got to be me, and it's got to be my being and my spirit and things. And I just put it out, and you either respect me for it or you don't, and they're the choices you have as a fan. And it's same with me and you. You know what I mean? We have a mutual respect of like, you don't need to like this. It's just
good to hear you say it and be honest about. Like some people sort of say that we try to please and all that stuff, but you're being honest. That's the way it is. That's the way it should be. So make yourself first and foremost. And if no one comes right, good on it.
it's my way of like negotiating this fucking madness we call existence. I'm not going to negotiate it for you. You know what I mean?
100%.
Start playing with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It never works. It could never work.
Clearly, what you two are doing is working. Like,
Yeah.
you got the connection and vibration, and just following your heart.
100%. That's the only way it works. It's the only way it works. But yeah.
You guys run up next man up this, but how good is this place, man? Like people
Oh,
didn't
it's
think
beautiful.
I didn't know Kenilworth. I live in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Never heard of the place before.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Come in, it's
That's
you
incredible.
play on the stage with no noise restrictions.
We were driving in just going like, oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Are you guys still kicking around in the bus?
The bus is out the front.
Is that the front?
Yeah.
What's its name?
Yeah, Peggy.
Peggy.
Yeah.
I knew it was a girl.
Yeah, it's always a girl.
Yeah.
You, yeah.
You gave me the video tour once.
Yeah. Yeah, it is awesome.
How did that tour go with that one? Did something like 100 shows or something?
Over 100 shows, yeah, it was
That's
amazing.
got to be a record. For Australia.
I've yet to see someone come out and say it's not. So until that happens, you have to get very creative about how to do it, and you have to have a bus. But we did it, and it's yet one of those other things. Which is like, man, you know what we should do? We should go and play 100 shows, man. And you're like, oh god, how do we do that? Let's buy a bus. All right, man. Let's you're like shit.
That's rad.
Big trip, a lot of shows, a lot of miles. As a band, what sorts of things do you learn about yourself when you get to the stage?
Man, that's such a hard question. It's like you learn you would think like doing this that much, and especially like even let's say 50 shows in 100 days, you'd be like, all right, yeah, we got this. Man,
No.
even now, like we've done however many shows, even now, just like, hey, that's interesting. Like, you consider that, or the way we're doing this is we're actually not perceiving it the way we're executing it. And then, especially like recording shows, and like listening back, and constantly having like we're very critical, like we are. We're incredibly critical of ourselves. So there's always an assessment of like what was successful and what wasn't, and why. And that goes from the depths of playing the music into like how interactions were, and maybe pacing of something, or like is this the right flow? Are we going too quick? Or like, what songs are? And this is where you do look after things. Like bands that go out and go, fuck, where are they going to play the new album? And if they want to hear the old shit, fuck it. They go and listen to it. It's like, man, no. Like,
That is wrong.
like I'm a fan. I want to see the good stuff that I fell in love with. Always to like have that, like the dope, like get the dopamine fix. Like, give me the song I want. I'm there for the new stuff too. Don't get me wrong. But yeah. It's a question. How do we?
I think you answered.
Are we always learning? Yeah, always.
You answered very well.
Yeah, and that goes even to like engineering. Like I'm engineering all the stuff, mixing the songs and producing. Like you know, you're right. I've written that many songs and I write for other people. That's like my job, and always, oh, that's interesting. Like you've used this thing. You've gone down that road a whole bunch of times now, and you always end up in the same place. It's not actually as effective as you think it is. So it's like, yeah, man, you never stop. Never about anything. About anything. Yeah.
You guys are taking off in like a few days.
Monday.
Yeah.
2 days.
First of all, is Peggy going to be safe? Where's Peggy going?
She'll be right. She lives on like a lot with like a heavy vehicle.
What are you most looking forward to? Or where are you most looking forward to going?
What I'm most looking forward to is music, playing. That I love so much. That was the other thing, to answer your question before as well. We were like, oh, man, I wonder if we get sick of it. But the more we played, the more I was like, oh my God, like, give me a guitar. Like, because you would find stuff and feel changes in like your approach to stuff and like just anticipating the idea of playing. It's like, it was really nice to get to a place where it's like, oh man, we love this even more now somehow, weirdly, you know. So that to going into Europe will be a similar thing, and then Europe is like, it's just a treasure trove of like, it's a delight for all senses. It's just like anywhere you look, anything you hear, anything you smell, anything you touch. The food.
I went over there with that knacker, like, you get to the venue, and we'd unload the van, go to the hotel room, have a nap or whatever, and come back and the stage is set up. They set everything up, at the end of the gig, was locked off, packed everything down, put in the road cases.
Yeah, man, the work ethic, the richness in culture and history. And
they respect the musicians over there.
They respect everything. Yeah. Yeah, I just look forward to every day, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's more Aussie shows?
Heaps. Well, we got this. As soon as we come back from Europe, we're doing a stint here in New South Wales, doing Newcastle again, going back to Tamworth, which we'll have played the Tamworth 4 times this year. So that was my whole thing. Is like when we're starting to play this music, we're showing people like it's real, it's us. It's like we want to like develop things with the community, not just come in and be like, we're doing country music, play Tamworth and piss off. So go back to Tamworth every couple of months. That's what we're doing, you know. So we'll be there, like we've done it twice already. We'll do it in October, and then we're back there in January for Tamworth again. So and then there's a few other things happening in Victoria. Then we go to WA again. We're doing all around WA, then we go up to do a couple more New South Wales shows, and we go like we do it like we never stop.
It's awesome.
Enthusiasm is great.
I'm loving it.
You talk with your eyes as well.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like it's great. We do that when interviews with people who don't get emotions when they're talking about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. Honest to God, I wouldn't go through the emotions. We're gonna die. Of course they do.
Yeah.
But I can't. I go mental. I would. I just no way.
We've got the general ones now. We've got a few general questions to finish with. They're just short answers. So
Let's
I know
go.
you've got the toilet with the big crossing.
I am.
But we'll take it easy.
I'm drinking my whiskey slow.
So you can lead on
There's a
this.
song in that.
Yeah.
So if you could play with any other band on the festival lineup today, who would it be?
Choirboys for sure.
Yeah.
Marcus.
We could have answered that. Okay.
He's a character at heart.
He's a legend.
Just to be on stage with him, just to be like, I wonder what's going to happen.
If you could choose one member from a festival here today to replace you in Kingswood, who would it be?
One member.
One member. It's got to be one.
I don't know who's playing guitar. What band's on right now?
Dragon.
Whoever's playing guitar in Dragon, he was warming up, and that motherfucker can play. So I don't know who he's actually playing. Yeah, that guy. Well, not only will he replace me, but he'll lift to the standard. He'll be like, man, this guy can play. Maybe he will, man. Chisel.
Everybody has said that today.
Really?
Every single band who said, everyone said Chisel, or they've mentioned Chisel.
You cannot go past one Chisel.
Which Chisel song would you cover that you get to cover?
We used to cover heaps. When we first started, we would do like Bow River. We used to do Rising to Rising Song all the time. Ferg for sure would do Clone Trees. I like Mossy's, like Tucker's Daughter. I like Mossy's stuff as well. Telephone Booth. Oh man, every time you hear Mossy's, like, come on the radio. The telephone booth. The way he sings it, you're like, oh my God, and then the way he plays guitar, Jesus.
Yeah.
Man,
He's underrated, Mossy,
Hey?
He's underrated. Mossy.
There was a thing in the there was a thing ages ago. It was like rate Australia's best guitarist, and for some reason they asked me, like I'm an authority, but and obviously like Tommy Manuel, you talk about like they're phenomenal players, but I was like, my most underrated one actually is Ian Moss. Like I peg him in, like for me he's like up there with like the Nuno Betancourts and the Van Halens. Like he's got that stuff under his hands.
He's got the swagger.
Yeah.
And Mossy and his wife, I can't remember her name, she's just so lovely. His wife read it and somehow got my number.
Oh, no
and
way.
She called and she was like, "Are you the wonderful young man that wrote that stuff about that beautiful stuff around Ian?" I was like, yeah. She's like, "Thank you so much, man, a lot for him. If there's anything you can do to help you guys at any point, just let us know." And we were in Sydney at the time. And we were filming Microscopic Wars, the video clip.
No way.
And we all loved always having these cameos in. Like we got Reg Mombassa in the first NIIO, the Rubens, all that for like lots of friends in all our video clips. And I was like, yeah, do you reckon he'd play a drug dealer in a video clip for us? And she's like, Ian. And then we were doing it in Newtown. He rode down his motorcycle. And so he was in the video clip though. Yeah.
I would have been absolutely blown away.
Ah, it was awesome, man.
But you never know till you ask. Everybody knows. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Ian Moss is
Every once in a while, I'll shoot him a text. I hope you're doing well, man. Like, what are you working on? Like, and it'll be like some crazy scale, like
that's
like
so
Phrygian dominant, like Lydian dominant, mixed Lydian flat six. Like he's crazy, man. He knows his stuff. Yeah, that's 100%. That's Mark. 100%. That's Mark.
KickAss is a 2-day festival. Have you guys been here for the 2 days?
We just got here.
Just rocked up?
Yeah.
What is your survival guide to a 2-day festival? What are the top 3 essentials that you need to do?
Underpants.
Yeah.
You actually only need 2 things. You don't need underpants. Underwear.
I bought 3 new pairs.
Just make sure you always have clean underwear, because even if you can't shower, if you put on clean underwear, you feel
good.
And you never know when you're going to shoot yourself.
Correct. like in this interview.
We'll let you go, mate.
You go do.
No, I'm good. I'm just teasing. Mate, for comic
We'll ask
effect.
for the last one. This one's from... G'day.
Ferg's in a tag team.
Join us if you want. We've only got one question to go.
Yeah, he rocks up on the last
We're
bit.
doing 3 new Spotify playlists, man. Give us one of your songs that you chose. You want a song to get a party started, and a song to save your marriage,
You're the first one.
and a song you can potentially get your marriage to. And they got to be yours. Chris, hey, good to be here, brother.
It's a great question. A song to save the marriage would be Snake Pit. And I say that because it became someone's wedding song. And it's like, it's as close to like heavy grunge as we've probably ever gotten. And it's like, it's detuned, big, sludgy, horrible riff. And we get this message being like, we love this song, it's going to be our first dance. And we're like, what?
Did you instantly Facebook them to see what they look like?
We were in the studio recording Reverie's version of it, which is like
A beautiful piano bass.
whole Juvenile's album with like acoustic instruments. And as we were recording the version, we were just being like, would you do like a version of it? It would be nice
Yeah, for a
dance.
wedding, because it's like,
We were like,
how the fuck did you pick Snake Pit as a wedding song in the first place? I mean, it's called Snake Pit. There you go. What was Aaron Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter?
So, my cousin before, but she didn't know about it. So as she walked down the aisle, they switched out the song to Megadeth, Bring Your Daughter.
So that'd save a marriage. The one to end the marriage. It's a song that'd end the marriage. Probably like Big City, right? To end a marriage? No, a song that would bring Big City. Big City is hard.
Yeah, but those ones could also save a marriage.
Yeah, man, we're a double-edged sword.
Covering all bases.
And then what was the first one? Get the party started. Well, one too many times. That's the skinned one. That's got the big, that's got the Hail Mary at the end. Crazy guitar solos.
We'll end there when we get over this weekend.
Beautiful.
Well, sorry, man, but that was our last question. We're not going to be able to talk to you very much.
You could redo this and then compare the answers.
Just edit the bit where we want. Thanks very much for the time.
Thank you.
Very nice to finally meet
Thanks so much. Thank you. Good to properly meet you. Nice to meet you,
Lovely to
Kyra.
meet
Thank
you.
you so much. Thanks for having us.